he did leave at 2 in the morning. So saying that I'm still in love with my ex.
And it's a friend and actually an ex, but we're still friend of mine. She's
You said it's an ex?
Ex and a friend, yeah.
And for us to talk. There's no reason.
So you didn't tell him why you're no longer talking to him?
There's no reason to
I
talk.
did not call her.
Okay, I have receipts, but it's okay.
Reasonable ask that I was obligated to do that. That it mattered who I was going on the trip with at all. When we had only, hung out with each other one time.
Oh, would you like to tell him what went wrong, Jeremy? Huh?
I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Owed me. That's crazy.
Yeah, oh, here, let's go, okay, go. Yeah. She wanna make me her wife, but I don't wanna be her wife, okay. Slide by in the motherfucking range, I do the dash in the vintage, yeah.
YouTube, what is good with y'all? I'm back again with another balloon pop reaction video. Today we're reacting to the Jeremy and Brellaunte catch up. I don't know if that's how you say your name or not, but let me know down in the comments what you think about this video. Let me know what else I should be reacting to. 98% of y'all not subscribed, so tap in and subscribe if you fuck with the video. Make sure you like the video and check out my playlist to see my other balloon pop reaction videos. Without further ado, I'm gonna get right into it.
Brellaunte, welcome y'all. How we feeling?
Hey, what's happening? Thank you for having us.
Good. So we had you both on episode 19 of Pop the Balloon or Find Love, where you guys ended up matching. Okay, so is it going to be a yes for you for him?
Yeah.
Oh. And is it a yes for you for her?
Absolutely.
We got a match! I'll take this. Y'all going off. Yes! Okay, so obviously, on the show, we got to know you guys a little bit. You told us, just a few things here or there, but we would like to get to know you guys just a little bit more before we dive into, the juicy topic at hand. So let's start with you, Brellaunte. Tell us more.
More about the relationship or
just about yourself?
Just myself.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm a mom. I do my music. That's pretty much what I've just been on, is focused on that. And I currently do reside in LA, but I will be residing in Phoenix soon.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of like in the work and the process right now. So
got it.
Yeah.
Nice. So are you from LA?
No, I'm from Arizona.
Oh, so you're from Arizona, then you went to LA, and then you're like, I'm coming back.
Here, family's here, I got a kid, so he wants to be cousins.
His family,
So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And then how old are you again?
27.
27.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, AZ welcomes you back. All right, Jeremy, what about for yourself?
I'm originally from California as well.
Okay.
From the Bay Area, Oakland area.
Nice.
I've been out here for a little over 2 years. I currently work for the most part. Have a couple side projects and things going on, hobbies and things like that. But I'm enjoying Arizona so far.
Good.
It's been cool.
Okay. So we saw on the show, you had asked a question that.
Man, this girl, Brellaunte, whatever her name is, she is so fine to me. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I just really like how she look. But also, it looks like she a Cancer. So, I'm not too big of a fan on Cancers. Women, especially, like, they just be too much for me. I don't like they be a little too emotional, too clingy, in my opinion. And she a baby mama. So, personally, I'm not a huge fan of that. I will date somebody that's got a kid, but it has to really make a lot of sense for me to do all that. And yeah, and I swear all the baddies be from LA. I don't get what it is. Why is there so many baddies in LA? Where did they all come from?
Kind of stirred the pot a little bit. Got a lot of pops on you. You asked the ladies, why are you single? So why do you think so many people popped on you when you asked that question?
I think it's just one of those questions that people kind of assume like malicious intent.
Okay.
As opposed to kind of just doing introspective work and kind of seeing where they may have gone wrong in their previous relationships. It also may not, be about anything you necessarily did wrong. It could be like situations and circumstances that kind of led to that. And so I thought the question left room for that sort of type of answer, but it seemed like it was kind of received negatively. So.
Yeah. I mean, you answered it just fine. You didn't see any problem with it, I'm guessing?
No, I mean, that's kind of like a valid question. Just because question. Like, I don't
Right.
see why you'd feel some type of way about it.
Especially since we're on a dating show. We're
Yeah.
assuming everyone's single, so it's like, okay.
Talking about a relationship.
Exactly. Yeah,
so-
yeah. Okay, good. And I think you kind of did explain a little bit your reason behind asking that question on the show as well, right?
Yeah, I think after I think one person's response, I kind of just responded and said I was just kind of looking for any sort of growth or anything that you may have learned from previous experience. So I think I clarified it a little bit, but damage was already done at that point. So.
Okay, no problem. Well, let's go ahead and dive right into my favorite question. Since you guys ended up matching on the show, have you guys gone on a date?
I don't know. Looking at this reaction right here, I don't know if they did go on a date. But I don't know, like, just the whole. I think that is a valid question as well. I think that shows maturity on her part that she was willing to answer that. Whereas a lot of the women on his episode and just women in the show in general would take offense to that. Like, he asking why I'm single. I don't like that. I don't want to bring up old stuff, whatever. But like he said, he's looking for growth. So a lot of these women, they don't want to grow. Like, they just want to stay how they are. They think they're perfect, and they don't a lot of times want to change. I think you see that in both sides though. Like, it's not just women, but. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. Do people actually want to grow from their relationships, or do they want to, like, just stay the way they are? They think they're perfect.
Do you want to tell him, Jeremy, or?
Go for
actually,
it.
Shay.
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm gonna say, so after we left the show, I offered him if he wanted to come and join me. At the time, I was already having a barbecue
Okay.
with my family.
And this was back in LA?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
here.
Oh, in Arizona.
Yeah,
Okay.
my family's here. So
Oh,
I rented
right.
a big Airbnb. I threw my niece a birthday party, and that's kind of what I was rushing to get back to a little bit.
Got it. Okay.
And I offered for him to come, but I did give the option, like, if you don't want to come, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm going right now. So if you want to come, it's barbecue. We're there, we're partying, we're drinking, we're having fun.
Right.
I'm very family oriented, so I'm very friends. Like, if you're around me, you're gonna be around the people that I love.
Yeah.
And if you have an issue with that, it's kind of like,
No.
no, like, obviously you don't need to be with me.
Yeah.
So we went back there, and I guess it just, he did leave at 2 a.m, so it was like,
Okay.
not
So
like that, not like that,
He,
not
no,
like
I mean,
that.
like, he stayed for some time.
He stayed for some time.
Okay.
He acted like he did enjoy himself. And then, he went home after. Everything was kind of fine after that. It was cool. So it wasn't like no big thing. Nothing went wrong.
Okay.
It was just like, okay, we got to know each other a little bit more. Not that much, but a little bit more. And then the next day, we were supposed to hang out, but I had to fly back to LA.
Okay.
So we were planning on going on a real date, fly out to LA and see me, or I can fly back to Arizona and see you.
Yeah.
But, it just didn't get to that point.
Okay. All right. So, Jeremy, the barbecue you guys went to was right after filming? Like,
Yeah.
you left filming, went straight
Yeah.
there? Okay. So, how was that for you?
Well, that first of all, like, you meet somebody, you match with them, and immediately after you're meeting their family. I feel like that's a lot for anybody. Like, I don't know. For me personally, I would still do it, but I'm just a very outgoing person. So for a lot of people, I think that wouldn't really vibe with them. And then two, like, it just sounds like she did not like how it went. Like, just the way she's talking, just like, I don't know, Jeremy, how did you think it went? Da-da-da. Like, and they didn't actually end up going on another date after that. So sounds like things didn't go well. And also leaving at 2 a.m., like, the way she said that, I was like, oh, so they was getting busy up in the house.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, mic up.
I enjoyed it. I'm also family oriented. I think we talked about that on the show. And got a chance to meet her family. I had a really good time. We played dominoes.
Okay.
So yeah, like she said, I kind of stayed a little later and then I went home. We were supposed to meet the next day. I think I was expecting her to I think we had a plan that she would let me know when she was free, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And then that didn't happen. So we ended up kind of she kind of just went back home, and so we had talked about possibly having a date. Obviously with me having to go to LA or she coming back here.
Okay, so the next day when you guys were supposed to go on this so-called date, was that something you guys had discussed while you guys were at the barbecue, and then the next day there was no follow-up on it, or what happened?
kind of discussed that like the morning time, I think.
Okay.
It was more like because he actually stays around where my sister stays. So we're in the same area,
Okay.
like almost same facility. And
Right.
so, but I was so much with my sister and stuff. They don't get to see me that much. And so from breakfast, you know, we have all the kids. It's just so much stuff right now that I can't bring him into
Okay.
right now
Okay.
to what we had going on. And yeah, that's why I was like, it took a little bit too much time. And then, flying in, you got a rental car, you got to go clean it, you got to take it back. Like
Do a
it
lot,
was,
yeah.
it was that. And then it's the heat, so you're hot, and it was just too much. So I was okay with, I have no problem flying in 2 days later or flying in a week later to come see you, or you come see me. Like that, the way you shouldn't have that problem not coming to fly to see me.
Okay. So what went wrong? Was there just like,
Oh, would you like to tell him what went wrong, Jeremy? Huh?
I think
actually, no, let's hear from Jeremy.
Yeah,
She went first with the
let
story.
him say
Let's
what
hear from
went
you
wrong.
now.
I think there were kind of a few things that happened.
Before he talks, she seemed kind of toxic. Like the way she was saying, let's hear from Jeremy. Like, let's hear what wrong with him. Like, it seems like she's putting it on Jeremy as to like why things went wrong. And I don't feel like she's taking a lot of responsibility. Now, I haven't heard his side of it, so I can't really say whether or not it is his fault or it isn't. But she's making it seem like, oh, it's just a fight away. It's no big deal. Da-da-da. So I don't know. It seemed just like she's putting all the blame on him. And it does seem that she likes him. Like she's almost like a little hurt or whatever that he didn't follow through the way that she wanted him to.
From my perspective,
Okay.
that just kind of maybe gave me the wrong impression or kind of set up the wrong kind of idea. And so ultimately, we came to, there was a situation in which I was going out of town.
Okay.
I was going on a vacation, previously planned vacation, actually before
Prior to
we
you
met,
coming on
prior
the
to
show.
me coming on the show.
Okay.
And she inquired who I was going with. And I told her, and it was a friend and actually an ex, but we're still friends, friend of mine. She's
You said it's an ex?
Ex and a friend, yeah.
Exactly. So obviously, we were, okay, let me tell you, we were on the phone. We're talking, getting to know each other. He said he's going to go to Puerto Rico for his birthday. And I was like, oh, fun. Like, who are you going with?
Right.
Like, he said, he skipped the question first. He skipped the question. And then I was like,
I did, absolutely did.
oh, okay. But then I asked again, like, wait, who are you going with? And he said, my ex. And I was like, I think my phone's dying. So after that, I never talked to him again. I hung up. We never talked until the only way we talked again, because I think he called me a few times after that. I did not answer. There was no reason. There was no reason for us to talk. There's no reason.
So you didn't tell him why you're no longer talking to him?
There's no reason to
I
talk.
did not call her.
Okay, I have receipts, but it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
And it was. What do you wanted me to do? Tell you, like, how was the vacation with your ex? Like, did you guys chill on the beach or something? Like, did you want me to wait for when you got back? And then it's like, there was no talking afterwards.
Okay.
Well, there was nothing for us to talk about. And we didn't recently talk again until I found out that, people were sending me things, and they were sending me things like, oh, he went on a different podcast. He talked about you. He talked a lot of mess about you. He said things, talked about your family, talked about this and how it wasn't. And I was like, wait, what? He's kind of capped because that didn't happen. So a lot of things like he said that didn't happen. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Like he went and talked about me. Cool. Like I really don't care at the moment because obviously from the jump, it showed me that who he was, what he was doing. He wasn't looking for anything. It was just a good time. So it was just, that's fine with me. And I was okay. You're going with your ex. We didn't start anything new. It's just keep it pushing,
Okay.
So I didn't badmouth her.
I don't know. Like, first of all, she just throwing him under the bus, like, right away. Like, I don't know. Is this typical? Is this typical baby mama, pretty girl behavior? Like, literally, is she just gonna throw him under the bus without... First of all, they didn't even have no relationship. Like, for him to go on a vacation with his ex, who he said is his friend, like, if you're gonna date somebody, you gotta trust them. And if he says that she's just a friend and he's going on vacation with her and it's nothing happening, you have to take his word for it, first of all. Second of all, y'all just met and he planned this vacation out already. So just because he did this and it's with his friend, that doesn't mean that he isn't serious about pursuing a relationship. And I don't know, like, it's just like he doesn't really strike me as like a shady person or like a cheating type person. He seemed very calm, like very reserved, and she was just, and to be saying that he was on a podcast like talking shit about her and her family, like that just doesn't seem like his character at all.
Or say anything bad about her or her family.
Okay.
There was a situation, that we were in that I did speak on another platform. But it wasn't, I didn't say it in a negative way. What I will say, though, is some of the things that were said and some of what I observed and seen kind of led me to kind of believe that it wasn't as serious as, like...
Okay, such as what?
There was some transparency, some things she told me in confidence that I would rather not share.
No problem.
But I will say that there were some things that she told me that she was processing through that kind of just, put it in a different perspective for me as far as the seriousness of like what was happening.
Okay, so you think she wasn't as serious about getting to know you?
Well,
or?
I don't know if that's true or not, but I just didn't think we were in a space to where I would cancel a trip with an ex or a friend because I met you. I just didn't think we were in a space where that would even be a reasonable ask, that I was obligated to do that, that it mattered who I was going on the trip with at all. When we had only, hung out with each other one time. So from my perspective, based off of as well of what I kind of observed and understood she already currently had going on. So I would have thought that would have been kind of just to, like kind of a drop in the bucket, if you will.
Okay.
Without saying too much, but to me, it was like, I didn't think it was that serious. And so, which is also why I had no problem with being just kind of forthcoming about it and honest. And so if she didn't like it, which is cool.
Okay.
But she did kind of like make some sort of whatever kind of funny comment when I actually did go on vacation. She told me happy birthday and was like some sort of comment, I hope you enjoying or something with your ex.
Oh, yeah, of course. I think we were still following each other, and I said, happy birthday. You're in Puerto Rico. I hope you have fun with your ex.
And so I responded and so even at that point, I thought that there was maybe some sort of, attempt to continue conversation.
Okay.
But so when I responded, I forgot what she said, but she said something to the effect, which is basically like kind of like ask if it was kind of, I felt questioned. And so I never responded to that. And that was our last communication before the podcast. And I do have receipts.
Okay. Yeah. So after you guys had the conversation, she was like, oh, you're going with your ex. You just left it at that. You weren't interested enough, basically, is what you're saying, to
continue. There was nothing else to like. Like if she liked it, she liked it. If she did, fine. But I didn't think I owed her that explanation, and I thought it was something that was just like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Owed me. That's crazy. So I'm gonna just get the
The whole thing he's saying, she told me something in confidence and I don't want to say it. Like, I feel like that's bringing in some confusion to what all went down, because I feel like that is a factor in what happened, so we don't know what it was. And then two, I totally agree with him. Like, I'm going on a vacation with my friend, whether it's my ex or not. I'm friends with some of my exes, or one of my exes primarily, and it was just not a very long relationship. So I feel like it was almost, I wouldn't even call her ex. Like, it was just somebody that was a friend that I had a romantic relationship with at one point. So I have boundaries with her. I think it sounds like he has boundaries with this girl, and even if he didn't, like, who cares? They're not together. They've known, like he said, they went on one date. It wasn't even a real date. He went to a barbecue with her family, and then like she acting like he owe her an explanation and all like privileged, and she's laughing and kikiing while he's talking and telling, and she's like, oh, I got receipts, and he came right back. He said, I got receipts too. Like, what you trying to say?
This. Okay, first of all, how would we even have enough time? We just met. We're starting something new, right? So we came on here to find that other person love. Obviously, we've had stuff in our past. Like you're saying that, for what he doesn't want to say, saying that I'm still in love with my ex. No, I told him I always have love for my ex, because I was like, my ex-fiance, whatever. I always have love, but I'm not in love. If I was in love with that person, I would go be there fighting for that person to be with that person. But no, I told him, like, I'm single. I'm here. Like, I didn't give you no, like, I'm with this, I'm with that. I told you what I do. I do my music. I take care of my kid by myself. I take care of my own responsibilities. I'm independent. And then all I need is somebody there with me to make me happy and have fun. I never once given him that, sign that I'm still talking to him. I'm this. Like, never once, because we didn't even get that far. Now, for him to be like, he doesn't owe me anything, it's kind of messed up, because it's like, I'm not expecting you to owe me anything. Like, you should be a gentleman. Like, you came to me and you're looking for this, I'm looking for the same thing. So why do I have to accept that you're about to go have a time in Puerto Rico with somebody else, and I'm here still looking for love, but gotta be okay that you're there having a great time with somebody that's in your past. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to be focused on you, but that's what you're offering me to accept.
And so this trip was how soon after the show?
Like, literally right after. Right after.
The show was beginning of August, I believe. My birthday is at the end of August.
Okay.
So,
Right after.
but again, vacations are previously planned, not planned the day of, right? So
you weren't done. You weren't done with your past, and that's okay. Don't be done with your past.
I
if you
mean,
still
I
have
think
that.
that's a very kind of dogmatic way of looking at it, and that's okay if that's your worldview, but it's not mine. So you don't have to fall out to walk out. And because somebody's your ex doesn't mean that they still aren't your friend. And so what that means to you can be different, and I think that's unique between people and their relationships.
So did you guys stay in the same room?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So now, Jeremy, if the
Okay.
roles were switched, like, for example, let's say her and her ex went on a vacation after you guys met, you would have been totally okay with that, still getting to know her after that trip?
Well, I think if it was a previous planned vacation, I wouldn't have told her to cancel it yet. Like, I don't know that I would have had a problem with that. Like, since we're here, like, I met, like, her child's father, like, at the barbecue the day of. Like, so
That I
was
haven't been
already-
together with for 8 years. 7 years.
Okay.
So 7 years.
Whatever type of way, though, when we was at the barbecue, he ended up feeling some type of way, though, which is...
That wasn't because of you. That was because my child at the time, not to get too deep into it, but my child at the time didn't understand how birthdays work. And he was a little upset that somebody else is getting a lot of attention. So, I parented. And my son's dad, we're not together, but he's not really in his life like that. So it was a parenting thing, the why he got upset. Is because, I took full mom mode. He was trying, and I excluded that out. So it was a parenting thing of why he left. It had nothing to do with him. And I just feel why you feel like you're that, to take that. Like, I don't understand why you think it was for you.
So that's not what I was alluding to.
No.
I don't know what he's about to say, to be honest. But one thing I don't know. Like, I feel like if she would have done that, gone on a vacation with her ex, I don't know if he would have had the same reaction to it. Like, I get maybe he would have let her go on the vacation. Maybe he would have kept the conversation going after that. But I do think that at the very least it would have tarnished her reputation in his eyes, and it would have, like, changed the way that he looked at her. So I don't know. I think that's cap. Like, I just don't believe that he really would have not cared.
If you're placed in those situations, like, out of the gate for whatever reason, that just means that there's unresolved tension, if from my estimation or my observation, between you and your baby's father.
No, I have always not liked him. It's just always been like that. I don't like him. He knows I don't like him. Everybody knows I don't like him. But we tolerate each other because he's been in my life for so long that my family invites him everywhere, but they don't look at him as in, oh, that's Breeze. Like,
that's your man.
They would be like, we will even say, like, bring a girl, bring somebody. Like, we would love to meet somebody that you have. Like, we even tell him.
Did y'all, like, go out or something like that where you tried to, like, introduce him to a girl or something like that?
Yeah, we've tried to introduce him. We go out to, like, groups. And before I would have somebody with me, I'll get my friends to try to get him to somebody. Like, sometimes he's into it, sometimes he's not. But that's him. I don't know his life. We're not into that. Like, he's around sometimes. So
but you
the
would
fact
say
that he's not a factor.
But you would say that it's quite possible, even though you guys are exes and have a child together, to be friends and that to be that. Is that possible?
I mean, it's after, like, I don't think of him like that. It's after 7 years.
Okay, so my whole point is...
he's not a friend to you.
So my whole point
No.
is... My whole point is, it's possible to be a friend to someone after you've been in a relationship with them.
How long was your ex though? How long?
How long? What? We've been broken up for over a year. Like,
That's not a comparison.
yeah,
I was with him when I was like
I don't know
17.
I just want to answer the question. Like,
Like,
I'm
I
confused
have
on why
history.
that's relevant, though.
I think she's saying, like, maybe, like, feelings might still be involved.
Never.
Like, on your end, and that's why she was like,
year.
I'm going to back up.
I mean,
That's a
that
year.
could be true if I was dating somebody else prior to coming on the show. Like, that's an imminent truth, regardless of whether it's an ex or somebody new. So I think, like, that's not a real danger. Like, her exploring what could have been with me, like that us going or on vacation had no hindrance on that, is what I'm saying.
So you don't think it'd be back in my head of what they're doing on vacation? So it's like, for me,
I don't know. One year is kind of fresh. Like, that relationship, it just ended. So I feel like that's prime time for people to get back together and have more feelings. And she might be thinking, oh, he went on vacation with his ex, he's gonna cheat on her with me later on because he still likes her, obviously, since he went on vacation with her. But at the same time, if you're broken up, and some people, when they're broken up, they're really done. Like, they're just not together with that person anymore. So I think it just comes down to, like, what type of person he is, and she doesn't know him. So how's she finna judge him just like he could have judged her with her baby daddy? Like, she may say, oh, I don't like him, da-da-da, but he doesn't know her.
like, ooh, I just met somebody maybe I could start with, maybe I can go fly and see him. Like, maybe there's something new because he's looking for this, looking for that. But then once you tell me, like, oh, you're going with your ex, like, that's like a slap in the face. And so it's just like, okay, obviously he's not serious, but then you have the means to tell me that I'm not, you didn't get to know me enough. You didn't get to know anything that I was about. You didn't even try. You didn't try at all. Like, you barely called me.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think just based off of what I observed in totality, that did not lead me to put my best foot forward or my best attempt to get to know you. So for that, you're right. But I think based off of what you said or what I took away from our conversation at the barbecue, it was in my best interest to not, like, kind of jump into this more seriously.
I don't see how you're all over me at the barbecue. And then you're doing way too much.
but
And so I did send you home on an Uber. So
physicality and, like,
what you said, it was nice. It was a black truck from what you said from the other podcast you went on about me, right?
It was nice. And that's not what I'm talking about.
Well,
so
yeah.
physicality, me showing you physical interest, is not the same as me, like, pursuing you. So those are two completely different things. So if I was
you knew from the barbecue that you no longer wanted to pursue her?
Well,
Is that
I
what
just
I'm
kind
getting?
of moved it into a different bracket or a different category, if you will. I just thought it wasn't advantageous for me to take it seriously at all if you're still having this emotional attachment to your ex.
I never had an emotional attachment.
That's what I
This
understood
man
from
is
the conversation.
weird.
So it sounds like there was, like, a lot of miscommunication.
We weren't even by each other, though. He was playing dominoes with everybody. Like,
Well, no, this conversation
weren't even
happened.
by each
Everybody
other.
went inside the house, and I don't know if she remembers because we were a little tipped.
No, we weren't.
But we were outside. They were all inside the house, and me and her were outside near the barbecue when this particular aspect of the conversation happened. I remember it pretty vividly because I kind of made a mental note of it, like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, I was honest. I was thankful for her being honest, but I kind of compartmentalized what was going on at that particular time, and like, just was more open to just see where it goes. But I'm like,
I've never been.
So just to ask you, Brellaunte, so obviously when he said the whole ex thing, like that's who he's going on vacation with, for you as well, like you didn't care enough to text him either, like, hey, I don't think we're gonna continue this, like.
No, there was no point. He's with his ex still, so his mind's somewhere else. It wasn't, I didn't feel the need to reach out or anything. It was like, okay, back up. Obviously, I did say on the show I choose the wrong guys, obviously, so it was okay. And I was fine with that. I was fine with moving forward. I didn't show him I showed him who I was. We had a great time. I wasn't like flirting with my baby dad. It wasn't anything. He actually left early. So it was just like, he wasn't even there for the rest of the time there. And we had a good time. So that's why I didn't show him any signs that I was anything. Because the fact that my baby dad's in conversation right now, it really irks me. For a man that you've never showed no interest, no love in the last 7, almost 8 years of your life. And then now that he put that as his reason, it's crazy. So he should be jealous of my exes or something. Like, he should be thinking about them.
Jealousy is crazy.
I mean, not jealous, but like meaning like concerned. That's the word. You should be concerned about who I had before.
Previously.
Yeah, before like 2 years ago or something. You should be on that. I'd get that. I would get that.
it
But
was
to make
more
it that,
of a
then that's
collective
weird.
of an observation.
But why is my exes a factor if I never brought them to you?
I think
I never brought them to you. They never came into play. They never like was a conversation. I was focused on you, and come on.
I'm confused. Did you not tell me that you were still in love with your ex? Or did I
No,
make
I
that
said
up?
I have love for
Okay,
my
all right.
ex.
So that there was a kind of a whole space about that where you kind of went into more detail about that, which I won't share here. But for you to kind of just make it seem like you just said that is a bit disingenuous. And so what I took away from that conversation, and what based off of what I observed with your interactions, what you said is that it was not in my best interest to pursue seriously in that way. Like, I was open to allowing it to develop. But as you said, after you left, even after the next day when you were supposed to call me and you didn't, like, I take people like for their word. And when you say you're going to call me, I was expecting that, and you didn't. You just left. And I actually had to reach out to you and was like, hey, I hope you made it home, A, B, and C. And then you end up responding to that. But those are key indicators that you may also not be as serious as you think you are. And so there's no way in hell I'm even thinking about canceling a trip with a friend that's pre-booked. Or even anything that's what we are now. Like, we're not together. So I mean, like, or even like anything remotely close to that for what I've seen in just a 24 or 48 hour period.
That is very weird.
Yeah, it just sounds like this was gonna crash and burn from the beginning.
Yeah, like, they don't even seem compatible. Like, even if this all wouldn't have happened, like, he's not seeming to really listen to her when she's trying to describe that she has love for somebody, but she's not in love with them. And I guess there's more that she said that is not included, so I don't know what to think about that. And then with her, it's like she seemed really petty, like talking, kind of like laughing, saying stuff while he's talking. Like, I feel like she's just in her head knows what she thinks, and she's not really like leaving any opportunity for him to change her mind. And two, I think that is important what he said, like, if you say you're gonna call me, I expect a call. And if you don't call me, then I think that you are fake. Like, you're not, I just put you in another bracket unless I already know you, like, and I get like, oh, you have your kid or whatever it is. Like, that's something for when I already know you, not when we just started meeting. And then after all that, for her to expect him to quit a trip that he planned out with somebody that's really a friend according to him, but we don't know what he means by friend. Maybe he be effing on his friends.
Yes, definitely did.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, at least you guys did hang out a little bit. Got to know each other and saw like, okay, I guess so and so is not
I
for
actually think
me.
she's pretty cool though, but like I just just the way it went down.
I didn't give you no option of. I just don't feel like you have valid reasons. Like I have a valid reason. You don't.
Okay,
Like
I mean that's fair enough. Like my reasons don't have to necessarily be valid to you, and I didn't think your issue was initially valid to me, but I respect it. I don't have anything against you. That's why when I came in, I was wanted to be cordial and speak.
and you said let's get to work, right? So
Because you was throwing shots, so
No,
I
I
just wanted to
didn't.
make sure we were going to at least be professional.
no,
in
you
this
asked for a
area.
hug and I said I don't want to hug you. I don't like you. Why would I hug
Okay,
you?
so then we started to kind of talk about something else, and then you got a little testy. And so I was like, all right, if we're not gonna be cool, then let's at least be professional.
right.
Which I'm glad you being now. So thank you
Okay,
for that.
well, just to go ahead and wrap it up, is there anything like any future projects we could be on the lookout for either one of you? We could start with you.
Well, I don't know. I do music, as you don't know. I just dropped.
All right, I don't care about her album, but let me know what y'all think about the episode down below in the comments. I don't know, she just giving like, I feel like I like her personality, almost like the toxic side of me, but I should know better than to talk to girls like her because I don't know, she's just looking for a problem. I feel like she's not really there to listen. And then with him, I think he's very mature. Like, he kind of knows what his priorities are. He's not going to let a woman tell him what he can and can't do. He's not going to let a woman change him. And I think that's very respectable. And he came into the situation much more mature. And she came in, like, with a bone to pick and throwing shots or whatnot. So it's just, you could tell the maturity by who's mad and who's, like, getting an attitude and whatnot over the situation. But let me know what y'all think. Subscribe if you made it to the end of the video. Like the video. Check out my playlist to see my other Balloon Pop reaction videos. I'm going to get up out of here. Hope you have a great day. Peace.
Oh, here, let's go, okay, let's go. Yeah. She wanna make me her wife, but I don't wanna be her wife, okay. Slide by in the motherfucking range, I do the dash in the vintage, yeah.